This is gonna be a quick one. September was cut short a little bit by a hurricane known as Ian. Hello and welcome to EB Knits. My name is Emily. I'm a knitter and making enthusiast based in Orlando, Florida. And this channel is my outlet to share all things handmade, specifically knitting. And today I want to share with you every single thing I stitched, spun, knit on in the month of September. So let's dive right in because September is going to be a quick one. September was cut short a little bit by a hurricane known as Ian, but we are safe, we're okay, we're back in our house, in the normal spot, but we did have some unexpected evacuation and things happened this week. So I didn't get to knit as much as I wanted. However, it's all good. Before I jump right into what I knit this month, I'll share what I'm wearing. This is a handmade top, not this cardigan, but this tank top. It is originally a crocheted piece, but I kind of just did my own thing. I tried to modify it into knit. Like when it said make two, I would, make one in knitting where they're slanting left or right, depending on what side it is. So anyway, it was a creative project. You can check out the video if you want all the info on this top, but this is a handmade tank top in a Knit Picks yarn that is very soft. Overall, I really love this tank top. I wear it quite a bit over the summer. So let's jump into September making. I don't have any finished objects for you. I wanted to finish this project that I'm about to show you, but I didn't make that goal. I think it's only one more night of knitting though, so as soon as I get the chance, I will finish it up. So bypassing finished objects, let's talk about whips. And here we are with the Peep Show Pullover by Morthunder. The body is done, one short sleeve is done, it's just this sleeve to go. And all the sleeve is really picking it up, ribbing, and casting off in a contrast color. So this top, I knit the 44-inch size. I'm using Trailhead yarn, that's hand-dyed vegan yarn. It is a cotton linen blend. It's a lace weight that I'm holding double. The colorway is the Silk Road. I purchased this yarn at the Purls yarn shop in Winter Haven here in Florida last summer actually, so I'm excited I'm finally getting around to using it. The contrast color is Lindy Chain by Knit Picks. It's actually white that I used an amethyst dye that I have and dyed it purple. So that is the contrast color of this top. I'm bringing it a little closer. I love all the variation of color that is in this yarn. I think it's really beautiful. My choice of contrast color really, I feel like could have been almost anything. I chose the purple because when it was skeined up, it did look like a majority purple yarn, but now that it's all knit up, I really could have chosen a multitude of colors. Just have to cut off my ends. You see all the ends sticking out, weave them in and cut them off. And the other error I made is here. I think this is the beginning of the round in the crisscross section. And that one's a little wonky, so I'll either figure it out or I'll make that be the back. And this will be the front. This one looks fine on that crisscross side. And there is those crisscrosses again on the bottom with a contrast cast on and a contrast bind off. And as far as size-wise, it is wide, it definitely fits. But I don't think there would have been any harm in doing one size smaller either. So let me see if I can put this on for you. And this is going to really show up too well because I'm obviously over this other tank top. And we have a microphone in here. So this is what it looks like on, if you can even see. A couple of things, other things. This cast on, I used a long tail cast on. I went up 2 needle sizes because I knew I do the long tail cast on pretty tight usually. I either should have gone up more needle sizes. Usually cast on and bind off in the tubular style. However, with the contrast color, that's the cast on and bind off, I didn't know how tubular would work. If it would be as flattering. And also being a t-shirt, I was like, okay, I don't need to do it. And she recommends long tail cast on in the pattern. So I thought, I'll just do that. I went up 2 needle sizes because I usually do long tail cast on really tightly. But I think it was still too tight. Next time I will do the German twisted cast on to make it super stretchy. That's what I use for my hats. That's what I'll use if I'm not using tubular in the future for my cast ons of my collars and my shirts. So then I learned that lesson on my bind off on the sleeve and the bottom of the shirt. I used Jenny's super stretchy bind off and I followed Andrea Mowry's tutorial. So I recommend that one. I think it looks really nice. You basically do it in reverse. Anyway, you can follow the tutorial for that. And all we have left is this sleeve. So overall, I really like this shirt. I think it's a really nice casual summer shirt, and it's my first ever linen shirt for myself. I made a linen top for my sister, but I do not have one of my own. So this is also my first ever fingering weight top for myself. I knit fingering weight ranunculuses, but those gauges are so large. It didn't really feel like fingering, you know. This is my first ever fingering weight top for myself. And the nice part is it's mainly stockinette. These crisscrosses do take some time. The increases, yeah, you have to pay attention to a little bit, but with the majority of it being stockinette, this was really nice to do while I was doing homework, while I was reading, while I was studying. It was my mindless project for the month. There's no more knitting for the month. It's literally the only project I worked on at all this month. But I got a little spinning in. I was just feeling the spinning bug. So this is the fiber I'm working on. It's from Pancake and Lulu. I enrolled at the beginning of this year in a 3-month fiber club with them. And I have a drop spindle, not a wheel. This is what the fiber looks like. And I split it evenly, so it's double the thickness when you get it. And so I spun 1/2 here, and now it's on this cone. I double ply it together. It'll probably be like a worsted weight, I'm guessing, maybe a light bulky. And so I started on this one. I haven't done it in a while. There's no rush on these. It's just something that I think is fun, and another really easy, simple craft that is nice to do when you're in the mood for it. Still a pretty new spinner, but I really like it. One day I think I would love to get a wheel, but right now I'm still in that drop spinning phase, and I'm not ready to invest the time or the space for the wheel yet. I have plenty of other projects on my mind. But I think hand spun yarn is gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay, let's talk October plans. So my biggest October plan, well, there's two. One is finish this by October 6th. And the reason October 6th is the deadline is because October 6th is a cast on day for the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along. I am so excited. I had a blast doing this last year. This is the shawlography from last year. This year is the twists and turns. I almost tried to convince myself not to do it this year because I didn't want to buy the yarn because I don't have the required yarn that it needs. But I just had so much fun. I said, no, you need this. I want the community. I want the fun. It was totally worth it. So when I get the yarn, I will show you probably next time. And I also think I'm going to do a whole vlog about Stephen West Mystery Knit Along because it is so fun and because I don't want any spoilers for anyone. But ultimately what I did is I purchased yarn. It's Knit Picks yarn. Hawthorne Figuring Knit Picks yarn is what I'm going to use, but I actually bought it from someone's stash on Ravelry. They were selling it for $7 a skein. So I bought 5 skeins from them, and it was $44, $9 for shipping. So it is not here yet. The seller was amazing. They sent it the day after I purchased it, but it's been back and forth to upstate New York and the regional facility, and anyway, it's fine. There was a hurricane here. It couldn't have been delivered anyway. So I just hope to get it by the 6th. So we have about a week left, and I hope it comes soon. Okay, so those are my only 2 October plans. I am, when this is done, going to need another stockinette easy project because I don't think that Mr. Knit Along is going to be a project I can do while I'm knitting. Maybe like 1 or 2 parts of the clues are, but I don't expect very much of it to be an easy mindless project, which is one of the reasons it's so fun. But I don't know if I'll cast on another top or maybe just do a couple of hats while I'm kind of in a in-between mode. We'll see what happens. And that is it for knitting, spinning, acquisitions, yarny related things. Now I want to talk to you about the books I read this month. I finished 3 books in September. The first being Open Water by Caleb Azumah Nelson. I would call it an extended work of poetry. 1 long poem throughout the entire book, essentially. I think that's how fluid and beautiful and gorgeous and descriptive the writing is. It is a story about our main character is a black male, and he lives somewhere in England, in Europe. I don't remember if they say exactly where. And this other woman, a black woman who is from that area but also lives in Dublin. Anyway, they have this love story, but it's just a complex story of their love of their experience in the world as Black people. And it is, I don't want to say more than it is just an extended work of poetry. It's beautiful, gorgeous writing. I rated it 4 stars, and it's heavy, but very beautiful. The next 2 books I read are part of a series, the Finlay Donovan series, and it is much more light. It's a very light-hearted, it's kind of like if you've ever read a Janet Ivanovich, Stephanie Plum, like serious, she's technically like a hit woman kind of, but there's humor to it, and they're just humor, jokes, like weird situations, funniness brought throughout it. And so our main character, Finlay, is an author herself. She's a struggling author. She's trying to get these book deals. What is she going to write about? She's in a writing slump. And then all these crazy things start happening. And so it's her getting through her writing slump while also being this like hit woman on the side. Anyway, it's very lighthearted as much as it doesn't sound like it is. It's quirky, it's cute, and it's a little bit of a laugh and a pretty easy read. The 3rd book in the series comes out next year, I believe. So I will be reading that when it comes out. And that wraps up my September recap of everything I knit, spun, read, and worked on this month. Thank you so much for being here. I would love to hear in the comments what you're working on, if you have a favorite project, if what you're going to be starting in October. And please like and subscribe to this video. It really helps me continue to create content for this channel. I appreciate you all being here so much. If you liked this video, check out my August recap. There's a little bit more knitting in that one. And I hope to see you next time, friends. Happy making!